Now, last night I took great detail to explain how things are starting to move in nursing homes. Again, I'm glad that you heard a lot of that happening around the country today. We will stay on it. Somebody who's speaking on the behalf of those nursing homes, on behalf of that industry, where you could see the pressure was really there for all to see today in Melbourne.
It's really distressing for everybody. Sorry. Aged care providers are doing everything that they can.
The question, as always, is government doing enough? Now, for some reason, there seems to be those that are desperate to try to say that there's a federal government failing in this. Look, health is taken care of by state governments. Remember how we showed you a nursing home last night where things were so out of control that the garbage was starting to collect out the front? Well, that facility, some people are being moved out of it. But there seems to be some very specific complaining that there is not enough personal protective equipment, basically masks and the rest. Well, the people who have had those in the nursing home system are the ones that have been given more than 1 million masks from the federal government, the Victorian government, yet again, failing to tell people in the languages of which they are in that was supposed to be the difference between things spreading out of certain local government areas and going to the whole area. That was one of their mistakes. Quarantine, that was the other one. Could this be the third big mistake? That the Victorian government wasn't doing enough when it came to protecting the people in those nursing homes? There was only an urgent meeting of a commission to try to deal with this in Victoria today. And this is what the Premier said after so many have already died.
We are moving patients out of that private aged care when it is deemed clinically appropriate for their safety, for their care. That won't mean every single patient gets taken to a public hospital. There's capacity for us. It's not a function of whether there's capacity or not. It's a function of the individual decisions that treating doctors make.
So essentially, if you have a person who's in aged care right now, you don't know. You don't know if they're going to meet the threshold to be able to leave or they'll have to stay. Where hundreds of workers in aged care already have coronavirus and the thing is beginning to swirl around and is out of control, in part because the state government, not the federal government, why people want to do that, I don't know. That's their own sort of weird bent politics. Settling scores from 6 months ago, 2 years ago, I don't care. Federal government is spending the money. Federal government is giving the masks. It is the state government that yet again is making its problems. And as I always say, I'm going to play this to you every single night. Every single night we talk about Victoria, never forget that all of this comes back to one mistake. A mistake that was a decision of the Andrews government. Roll the tape.
It may even be that every case of COVID-19 in Victoria in recent weeks could be sourced to the hotel quarantine program.
No wonder Andrews looks so nervous in this picture. But perhaps there's a bloke who's got the ultimate solution about how to deal with anything, regardless of what age and where you live in Victoria. He's in Belgrave, just down out of Melbourne. But he decided that the way that he was going to protect himself against coronavirus was to, well, put himself in a bubble. Okay, let's see if they start selling those in Bunnings, and then of course the anti-vaxxer and anti-mask crazies. They won't be able to get them, the rest of us can.